This week we are living with a 2025 BMW M2 LCI. LCI stands for Life Cycle Impulse, which is BMW speak for mid-cycle update. So a refreshed M2. They'll usually tweak things like the front end styling, headlights, taillights, update the interior, some changes to the powertrain. For the M2, it's relatively minor. You get 20 more horsepower out of the 3-liter turbocharged inline 6, the S58. So it now makes 473 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque when it is paired with the 6-speed manual transmission like this one. If you get the 8-speed automatic transmission, you get a bit more torque at 443 pound-feet of torque. This powertrain, the S58, is also found in things like the G80 M3, M4. It's a pretty good engine. Now, in terms of the BMW M lineup, everything is getting bigger and heavier. I mean, the new M5, yes, it's very powerful, but it's very, very heavy. Even the M3, M4, I think the M2 still remains the most purist driver-focused version. It's not going to be as lightweight and nimble as older generations of M cars, but if you look at the formula in the lineup, this has the turbocharged inline 6. You can get it with a 6-speed manual transmission and only rear-wheel drive. This is still, I think, the driver's choice M car. And another interesting thing is we have not been given an M2 competition. So we have the M2, which has now received a life cycle impulse, and then the M2 CS, which is coming soon, which does look pretty awesome. The modern day CS formula for BMW M cars is pretty awesome. A bit more hardcore track focus, more power. I think it's 523 horsepower now. But typically you go like M2 competition, M2 CS. You have the M5 competition, M5 CS, but we haven't been given a competition version for the M2. This week we'll be driving this, taking on a road trip, day to day, see what it's like, how does it compare to other modern BMW M cars, and this one has been optioned to right around $82,000, which I know is a lot of money, but in today's day and age of modern day sports cars, I think it's pretty cool. It also looks fantastic. Java green metallic paint, BMW individual. It definitely is a very eye-catching 6-speed manual transmission, carbon fiber bucket seats, rear-wheel drive. Let's go see what this thing is like to live with. Say hello to the BMW M2, which has just received a mid-cycle update. We're going to be spending a week living with this one, which has the 6-speed manual transmission. It's finished in a very bright Java green metallic paint, and we're going to be kicking off the week living with the M2 by taking a road trip to Chicago. I'm also just realizing that this one has the carbon bucket seats, so this won't be the most comfortable road trip, but it should be a fun one. I also have a lot of stuff to pack in the car, so we're going to see how practical an M2 can be. We've got the trunk all loaded up, not bad. 3 pedals, clutch in, the neutral wiggle. 6th gear, energy drink. Just under 5 hours left on the drive, and just simple cruise control. It just maintains speed, no fancy adaptive cruise control or any hands-free driving. This is still a driver's car. I mean, it has a proper manual transmission. So far, I'm doing okay with the seats. I do kind of wish they were cooled because my back and my butt are getting a little bit sweaty, but comfort-wise, they're fine now. We'll see how I feel in 4.5 hours, but currently, they're okay. Quick stop at the rest area. We've entered Indiana. Whew. A cool welcome sequence. The M logo. then you get a matching spec digital model. That's pretty cool. Drive is going well. This thing is actually pretty comfortable. I have everything in the most efficient, road-friendly settings for just road tripping, right? My legs are getting a little bit cramped, a little bit sore. I mean, these carbon buckets, again, they're not the most padded or comfortable. There's no massage or anything like that, obviously, but you know, it's going okay. Inevitably going to Chicago, we are hitting some traffic, which actually is a little bit of relief because I can get my legs moving, arms moving, going through the gears a little bit, because, you know, just sitting in 6th gear, cruising along does get tiring after a bit. As long as it doesn't become like an hour of stop-start traffic, then that's a little less fun when you have 3 pedals. Oh, look, race trailers, IMSA. Wonder where they're going, Road America maybe? Wait, the race schedule is on the back, so what is coming up next? Canadian Tire Motorsports, I think they're heading to Road America. Why is there a gigantic snail up there? What the? What? What is that? We're getting down to the fuel reserve, showing 42 miles to empty. So quick stop for gas, but made it all the way out from Michigan, Metro Detroit area to the suburbs of Chicago, over 300 miles on a tank. We have an exhaust valve button right here. Closed, open, closed, open. We just finished filming an amazing gated manual Audi R8 V10, and then it started pouring rain. Done filming though, so back in the M2, gotta head back to St. Charles, Illinois. Have about an hour drive. Hopefully traffic isn't too terrible. Let's hit the road. It's gonna feel very different in a BMW manual versus the gated manual in the R8. The clutch actually in this M2 is significantly heavier than a clutch in a manual R8. Fun fact. Quick coffee run, and holy crap, that one barely fits. That is a absolutely enormous bucket of iced coffee. Hopefully I can still shift because that is an enormous jug of coffee. We have Mikey's E92 M3 and the new G87. I think that's the chassis code for the latest M2.
Green jelly bean is what it's really.
You're a green jelly bean.
It actually is really, really impressive.
I like this thing a lot.
Would you like me to sit in my car seat in the back?
We could test out a second row seat for, you know, if you have small children or something like that. You know, you can just pull the strap here. The carbon bucket moves forward. It's powered.
Look at this.
What?
Look at how the door has just optimal storage.
For a gigantic water bottle? It's a very, very practical vehicle, family vehicle.
The steering wheel is my favorite thing about this car, if I'm honest with you.
I was literally just about to say that I think the steering wheel is too big for this car. It's got like a good amount of girth to it. I don't know, it feels a little too chunky for this thing. Don't say it.
I'm not saying it.
Don't say it. So Mikey, you currently have the E92 M3.
Yep.
That one's manual, right?
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
yep.
And then you had a manual M2 CS, previous gen, M5 CS, obviously those are automatic. What else? G80 M3, two of them.
G80 M3 for
Yeah, so you've gone through your fair share of M cars. This is the LCI of the M2. Relatively minor updates.
Yep.
And the M2 CS is coming soon. I'm excited to try that. Did you see that? The
Yeah,
new
I
one?
did. Yeah, the new M2 CS. We were looking at yesterday with like the black.
Oh yeah.
colored sapphire with the bronze wheels.
Yeah.
I think it looks sick.
I don't love the looks of this thing still. Like, I think your previous M2 CS looked so much better.
Yeah, I think M2 CS looked really, really good. I think this one might drive a little better, but that might be sacrilegious to say, but I don't know.
We'll wait to drive the brand new one.
Yeah. I wish they came with a manual too. That was the only thing that I don't like about the new one, is that I wish it had a manual in it, but I think like BMW is doing really well with the automatics, so.
Yeah. I feel like this shift knob hasn't changed, like from the E39 M5. Remember, it's like the same shape, look, like they've kept it pretty consistent.
I just want to apologize to 720. That's my neighbor actually, I think.
Oh yeah, something the other day.
Yeah, that's
nice.
I just want to apologize to everybody if the camera looks like I'm slowly panning. I promise I'm not terrible with videography. It's just this is literally giving me a mini stroke.
Gonna be a doctor, but doesn't know how to operate a little DJI camera thing.
I know. Hey, you know what? I'm trying.
Everybody has their skills and strengths, Mikey. It's okay.
I don't have many strengths. I have many, and I don't have many skills either. I just
exist.
I have many negative impacts.
No, don't be so mean on yourself.
Eddie, you tell me that daily.
Now they dig on the ass.
You know, we are in a giant green jelly bean. What flavor would this be? Like apple? Like apple crisp?
Sour apple.
Sour apple, yeah.
The name is called Java Green Metallic. But when I hear Java, I either think computer programming or coffee bean.
Coffee bean, that's what I think
Yeah.
too, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, okay, then.
Productive couple of days, but we have the car loaded back up, and it's time to start heading back home to Michigan. But first, stopping in downtown Chicago to grab dinner with my brother. Traffic looks abysmal right now, but oh my gosh, this paint looks so good in the sun. Look at this. BMW Individual has some really, really cool colors. Java Green Metallic. It works really well. It's like candy apple green. So much metallic flake there. That's valves open. Cold start. Not a bad little rumble, burbly, turbocharged inline 6. I need a stretch. Carbon buckets aren't the most comfortable. A big part of it is these side bolsters right here because they kind of press your legs in and you kind of have to keep your legs straight. And then you have the piece right here, that carbon piece in the middle, which looks really cool, but what is it for? I mean, it keeps your leg, again, just like straight here, holds it in, or you can, you know, put other things in there like a coffee or maybe your phone or something else. Let's take a look at the styling of the M2. The looks of this generation have definitely gradually grown on me. I don't think it's as pretty as the previous generation M2, but it has a much more boxy, aggressive look to it. Very squared off with the rectangular intakes on the front bumper there, the kidney grills. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of the looks of like a bulldog, so kind of like boxy and aggressive looking. And this paint color definitely is really, really special. BMW Individual Java Green Metallic. It's a little bit cloudy, overcast right now, but when the sun hits this paint, it looks amazing. And for 2025, you're getting a lot of different optional paint colors. There are 3 solid colors, 7 metallic colors, and 4 BMW individual paints. Let me just read them out for you. So you can have Sao Paulo Yellow, Vegas Red Metallic, Portimao Blue Metallic, Skyscraper Gray Metallic, Frozen Pure Gray Metallic, and Frozen Portimao Blue 2 Metallic. Frozen paint colors are the satin finish ones. And then some individual paint colors include this one, Java Green Metallic. You can get Voodoo Blue, Grigio Telesto Pearl Effect Metallic, and Twilight Purple Pearl Effect Metallic. So BMW is absolutely letting you option this thing in some pretty fun colors. And the cool thing is, this BMW individual color, I think it's like $3,000, which is not bad in the scheme of custom colors. You look at Porsche PTS, they get pretty expensive. We also have staggered wheels, 19-inch up front, 20-inch out back, and I love that they are finished in silver here. There's different options, but personally, black wheels kind of hide the design for me, so I really like the way this color combo looks, and it has gotten a lot of compliments this week as I am driving it. Taillights, again, the rear is not my favorite from a design standpoint. The way these kind of like vertical lines there, we do have the quad exhaust tips with the blacked out diffuser. You get black exhaust tips as standard now on the M2 LCI. The badges are in black with the silver surround, and I think that's the changes visually, so really minor, like the taillight design, all this stuff is still staying the same. No bodywork has changed. We have the carbon roof on this one here, the M side mirrors with the extra little winglet right there, and yeah, you can kind of see right now the metallic flake in this paint. It is pretty spectacular. So there's a quick look at the design of the M2. What do you think? Have the looks grown on you? What do you think about the styling? Do you prefer the previous generation one? Leave a comment below about the design. Angel was about to get her first experience in the BMW M2. What do you think of the color?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? I think you said green is your favorite color.
Green is my favorite color, but I like that more darker, rich green color.
So you're not a fan of Java Green Metallic?
No.
Everybody else has loved it. I think it's awesome. It's like candy apple green.
Bucket seats just don't seem very comfortable.
They're not meant to be.
Yeah.
These are okay. I mean, I did a road trip to Chicago and back, and it hurt after about hour 3. Yeah. You're also skinnier than I am, so you fit. What do you think?
It's really hot.
Like, look at this paint. It is amazing as the sun is hitting it. That is such a cool color. So you can really see some of the body lines right now with the way the sun is hitting the M2. It's rather boxy in some ways. Like, look around that rear wheel, the front line right there. It's very squared off looking, really boxy and aggressive. You get the what?
Ow, this is very uncomfortable.
You get the door for your significant other just so you can make sure no fingerprints end up on the glass. Hello. This is your M2 CS's child? Grandson? Generationally speaking, right?
That is cool.
I like the shirt. Yes, I really do need all these cars.
Yes, I do.
So Jason used to have a F87 M2 CS, which you love that car. That car was awesome.
That was great.
That was a really fun car. And now this is the LCI, the mid-cycle update, 2025 regular M2. There is a new M2 CS coming.
Yes.
What'd you think about that?
I liked it until I saw the track package.
Oh, you like that one?
I want the track package more than I want the...
On the CS? Than the CS. So track package or something like this.
Yes.
This is Java Green Metallic, 6-speed manual, 473 horsepower, S58. You like the looks?
I do. Like, I didn't like it at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's grown on me, like every BMW does.
This one does have about 10 grand in carbon, so not up front, but we do have the carbon roof, and then there's interior carbon, and we have the carbon buckets. You can get the carbon buckets as a standalone option now too, right? So that's all carbon fiber back there. That's pretty gorgeous. And it's a standalone option. Before, I think it had to be bundled in, but you can get these on their own without doing all the other carbon. You're like inspecting the car like you're gonna buy it.
Well, one of the things is they had a lot of deformities on my generation.
Oh, on the F87s? Oh, I
And
think I remember that.
I had some deviation of, like...
The pattern? Okay.
But it was so minor to see.
This looks like...
But this actually looks really good.
Like, it looks really, really good.
But they've had a lot of delamination issues recently.
Of like the clear coming off on
Yes.
these?
That scares me.
That would be scary.
And it seems like it happens to people who are in the hot climate.
Oh, like Arizona, like
Yeah.
baking in the sun and things like
and
that.
like literally leave the car outside quite a lot.
So yours had the full carbon hood because of the CS. This one is regular. But you want to know something that kind of bugs me here? Let me pop the hood.
Bigger than my CS car.
Bigger?
Yeah.
Did your CS have carbon ceramics?
No.
Okay, yeah, so no carbon ceramics are available. Didn't they used to be like a nice carbon cross brace?
There was a Bode
Yeah.
carbon.
It used to be made of carbon fiber. Now
They
it's
replaced
metal.
it with this, the triangle,
Yeah.
and it actually works better.
Oh, really?
My
It's stiffer?
understanding. Yes.
It just doesn't look as pretty. Obviously, under the hood functionality, but I did like the way on. I think your F80 was the same way. The M3 had the big carbon swoopy boomerang under hood bracing, but this one's got the metal one. S58.
It had this
Okay.
rigidity, but it didn't have
The added piece right
The
there.
added piece.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh.
So Angel managed, yeah, she
Just
punctured a tire on the Macan, so I just took this to swap a new used tire onto her wheel, and the M2 trunk will hold one Macan wheel.
sizable.
All right, let's do a bit of driving and talk about what it has been like to live with the BMW M2 this week. This thing has really grown on me. I like it quite a lot. And I stand by my initial statement that this is the most driver-focused of the modern-day BMW M cars. It's not lightweight by any stretch anymore, but among modern-day M cars, it is still rather lightweight, and it has the most pure of the driver's formula, right? You have available 6-speed manual transmission, rear-wheel drive only, twin-turbo inline-6 up front. It is a very fun formula. Now, some things about the driving dynamics. The 6-speed manual shifter. This is not the smoothest of manuals. If you go into something like a Porsche or even like a Honda with the Civic Type R, there's like a smooth slickness to the shifting. This one still has a little bit of notchiness. That seems to be a trait of BMW manuals. That being said, I feel like this one is better than what I remember previous older generations of BMW M car manuals being. And you also have the rev match downshifts, which you can turn on and off. Gear shift assistant, it's on right now, and it allows for some pretty quick downshift. So let me just speed up a little bit, get into 5th gear. Let's just say I want to go from 5th to 2nd real quick. That's pretty fun, right? But you can also turn it off. So now I'm the one in charge. 4th gear, 3rd gear. it is fun to play with, and you have the option to turn it on and off. The clutch is actually nicely weighted, and I'm just happy you can still have an M2 with a manual. BMW is still giving us some manual options. You can get the M3, M4 with a manual transmission. Now, the really top ones are no longer offered. The M5 doesn't have a manual option. That thing is a fuel tanker in size and weight and power, right? It's totally a different kind of M5 than what we used to have many generations ago. And when you get to the more hardcore CS models, you're not getting a manual transmission anymore, but at least this one here can be offered with 3 pedals. The other transmission option is the ZF 8-speed automatic, which is not a dual clutch anymore. Previous generations had a dual clutch, but the ZF 8-speed auto is really, really good. It's quick. It's a great transmission option if you want to have that. Now, the steering. So I wouldn't say this is like the most amazing of steering. Actually, something that stands out to me, which is rather surprising, is the steering wheel itself. It feels surprisingly large for the size of this vehicle. It's very girthy, like large diameter steering wheel. This one's trimmed in Alcantara, and they have gone to the flat bottom. I love the carbon fiber on it, but just it feels like a larger steering wheel than the size of the vehicle would suggest. It's not a problem, just an interesting thing to note. You can change your steering weight from comfort to sport. I've actually been driving most of this week an M1 with the steering in comfort. It's a little bit lighter. When you go into sport, it does weight up slightly more. So that is your personal preference. You can customize all of this, right? Your M1, M2 configurations with the shortcut buttons here. You can press setup right here, and that will pull up this screen. And you can vary everything from your engine, from efficient, sport, sport plus, that rev matching, the chassis, the dampers, steering, brake, and your M traction control. Now, the chassis, we have standard M adaptive dampers. And when you're in comfort, and I did a road trip this week with carbon buckets all the way to Chicago, and our roads in the Midwest are not fantastic, I actually thought this thing is actually pretty comfortable, all things considered. And that's the beauty of adaptive dampers, right? It can go from being softer, a little more comfortable, I just punch into M2 mode, right? It's gonna firm up a little bit. This road is actually nice and smooth right now, but you have that ability to vary it. And also, the suspension components are aluminum. You have the double wishbones up front. Like, it is still trying to be a little bit lighter weight, but the weight aspect, you can't ignore that. This is about 3,800 pounds curve weight, the modern M2. So manual transmission is 53 pounds lighter than the ZF8 automatic, but you do make less torque. So this is 406 pound-feet of torque, and the automatic does get more torque at 443. So it's a trade-off right there. Now, this is about 400 pounds heavier than the F87 generation, which is noticeable. It does feel a little bigger and chunkier and just more solid feeling, right? There is some mass there. That's not to say the limits are tremendously high. It is very, very quick. This inline 6 puts out solid power and torque. This is plenty fast and capable. How does it compare to the M3, M4, the G80? Well, those have also gotten heavier, right? So it's maybe 100 to 200 pounds lighter. The properly configured xDrive M3 with the automatic is over 4,000 pounds now, I think. So they're getting chubbier and chubbier. That being said, compared to the M5, we are still in the lightweight category. This is like 1,600 pounds lighter than the BMW M5. Because you don't have hybridization batteries, it's still just a pure internal combustion, manual transmission, rear-wheel drive powertrain formula here. You can adjust so many different things. You even have your M traction control. You have the drift analyzer, which I didn't get a chance to play with this week, but I feel like if I had a big open parking lot, would be quite a lot of fun. Let's see, which way should we go? Let's go back around. A couple of thoughts about the price and how this stacks up against competitors. So the M2 starts around $65,000, add on destination and delivery, which I think is actually a lot of car for the money. Nearly 500 horsepower. You can have it with a 6-speed manual transmission. It's pretty good compared to some of the other stuff out there. So this one here has been optioned up to $82,000. A big part of that is going to be the carbon fiber. It's almost 10 grand, so you're at 75. The BMW individual paint for $3,000, which actually in the scheme of things isn't terrible for like really cool custom paints. You look at Porsche PTS, some of the other options, they can get quite expensive. So I personally would definitely order one of these in a really fun shade from BMW individual, and I would get it with the 6-speed manual. So even at $82,000 here, I think it's a pretty good value. Think about what else you can have for the money that comes with a 6-speed manual transmission, any sort of manual. Nothing from Mercedes, nothing from Audi. You're looking at the Mustang Dark Horse, I think would be a really good option. That still has a naturally aspirated V8. It is very track focused and it's a great car. But at 80 grand, I'm like, I want a little bit more. We have the Toyota Supra, but that is ending, and that is very BMW underneath, right? We have, actually, what else with a manual transmission? A Lotus Emira, but that's a very different formula, and it's going to be much more expensive. Those are $100-something thousand mid-engine. The supercharged V6 can be had with a manual. Porsche is ending the Cayman gas version, supposedly, right? We don't know if they're going to bring it back and backtrack, but supposedly gas engine Boxers and Caymans are going bye-bye, and we are going to have electric versions of those. So there's not that many options left around this price point, and even option like this one at $80,000, I think you're getting a lot for your money, and I have really enjoyed driving this car this week. I put a lot of miles on this thing. I went to Chicago, so we road tripped to see what that was like in 6th gear, cruising along, just regular cruise control on. Other than the bucket seats starting to hurt my back and legs a little bit after 3 hours at a stop and stretch, it was fine. It was averaging mid to, I mean, I think I was doing like 25 mpg while on the freeway. Sound system's pretty good. You have all the tech here. I mean, this has been really nice to live with, and I look forward to hopping in the car. I mean, a manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, turbocharged BMW sports car is a good combination. I would take this over the M4 for sure. M3 if I didn't need back seats. I don't love the look of the G80 quite yet, and I think I can tolerate the design of this a bit more. I don't think it's a pretty car. I still think the F87 looks better, but from a dynamics, capability, tech, all-around package, I think this has taken a step up in terms of the driver experience. It just also happens to come with a step up in terms of weight. I like this engine more than the S55 in the previous iteration. The S58 is a pretty fantastic powertrain, which is also why they stick it in everything these days. And you can turn them up if you want. There's aftermarket support. You can increase the power output for sure. This thing, you can slide it. I have done some slidey rear-wheel drive shenanigans. You have so many different options, right? If I go over here to traction, you can do DSC on, I can do M dynamic mode, or you can do DSC off with drift analyzer or M traction control setup. Take a look at drift analyzer. It'll give you a star rating, right? Like, this is fun. You want to be on a controlled surface on a track, but you can have the multi-stage M traction control from here all the way 10 is like, we can go all the different levels from 0 to 10, which is pretty cool to tell you your drift angle, your drift distance. I need to get on like a little autocross track or like a big open parking lot to really play around with that and shred some tires. That'd be fun. M1, M2 buttons. Interior is pretty nice. Now, I like the little M touches on the door there too. You're never gonna forget you're in a BMW M car, a proper full-fledged M car. So I've really enjoyed my time living with the BMW M2 this week. As an LCI model, the updates aren't massive. I mean, an extra 20 horsepower is nice, but it's not going to completely transform the performance and driving experience. So if you're looking for a pre-LCI one, maybe a CPO certified pre-owned version, you would save a bit of money and get like 98% of the experience. But if you were to order one of these things new, I would highly recommend it with the 6-speed manual, the carbon buckets, and a really cool BMW individual paint color. So what would you choose? Comment below. Would you go for this, the Mustang Dark Horse? Would you try to find like a Toyota Supra? Maybe step up a tier to a G80 M3. Another car worth mentioning would be the C8 Corvette Stingray. I know it's a totally different formula, mid-engine, dual clutch only. You can't have a manual transmission, but it's another sports car just under 500 horsepower around this price point. But really, I think the M2 and the Mustang Dark Horse make the most sense to cross shop. And coming from somebody who absolutely loves Mustangs, I've had a couple, I've spent time with the Dark Horse, I I think I would put my money into this. I would buy this car. It has been very, very fun to have this week, and the color is absolutely a contributing factor. I do really love this Java green metallic. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.